So good afternoon, everyone. As you know, my name is Jeff Mearns, and I've got the great good fortune to serve all of you as the president here at Ball State University, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here to this special program this afternoon. As you know, we've gathered here this afternoon to introduce Chris Capco as the new head coach of our men's basketball team. And so we're here to welcome Coach Capco. He's here with his wife, Miranda, their daughter, Zoe, little Asa over there, and Coach Capco's mother, Karen, and his brother, Justin, are here. We're delighted that you have decided to join this very special university community. Welcome to Ball State, and welcome to Muncie, Indiana. So in just a moment, I'm going to invite Jeff Mitchell, our Director of Athletics, to come to the podium, and he's going to introduce Coach Capco to all of you. First, I want to express my appreciation to Jeff, and where is Lauren? To Jeff and Lauren, over the last couple weeks, they've worked very hard conducting an excellent, thorough, but also very prompt search process. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. I know it was a lot of long days and even some long nights and long weekends. So Jeff, Lauren, thank you so much for what you've done. So I'm also going to share a few observations about what I've been able to gather about Coach Capco. But Jeff is going to talk, when he introduces the coach, about his accomplishments, his credentials as a coach. As you all know, and Jennifer reminds me on a regular basis, I don't know much about X's and O's. I don't know much about the relative benefits of this particular offensive format or this particular defensive scheme. She reminds me virtually every day, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. But if you've been in Worthen Arena or at other sporting events, you know from time to time I can't resist the impulse to share some constructive advice from my courtside seats with the referees. But as I said, I do want to share some observation about Coach Capco's character. As you've heard me say, I believe a person's character is shaped and informed by their own values. And throughout his career, and in fact throughout his life, Coach Capco has embodied enduring values that define the character of our people, and that character defines the distinctive culture of Ball State University. One of those values that I've seen very quickly in Coach is his commitment to excellence. And as we know, a commitment to excellence means a commitment to excellence in everything that you do. And in his line of work, it's a commitment to excellence and rigor in every practice, a commitment to excellence in competition. It's about a work ethic. It's about a leader who embodies the work ethic that he expects to see in his student athletes. But also at our university, we still expect our student athletes to excel in the classroom, and we expect them to excel in their character and sportsmanship in competition and how they represent us in the community and on our campus. And Coach Capco understands that commitment to excellence and character, it begins with him and his staff. And he's demonstrated throughout his career, throughout his life, that he will lead in that respect. He will lead by example. Coach Capco also embodies our enduring value of courage. He knows that as we define courage, it's setting ambitious goals and then doing the work necessary to achieve those goals. And he has demonstrated throughout his career and his life about setting those kinds of ambitious goals and doing the work to achieve them. Coach Capco also embodies our value of integrity. He shares our commitment to honesty. He shares that commitment to integrity throughout every aspect of the program and throughout his leadership and about his service to his family and his community. He also shares our commitment to respecting all people. During our first conversation, what he said to me, you can be demanding. You can be very demanding, but you don't have to be demeaning. And that is how we expect respect to all people. And finally, Coach Capco embodies our commitment to gratitude. During our first conversation, he expressed his deep appreciation for the teachers and coaches in his life who have empowered his success. He told me that he became a coach so that he could have the same positive impact on the lives of the young men who will be on his team. And that is his way of demonstrating his gratitude to the coaches and teachers that have shaped his character and his life. So as you know, our values, the ones that I'm speaking about, our enduring values, are represented by beneficence, that beautiful statue on our campus. It's also the iconic symbol of our university. And you probably know, we've got some students over here. Our students refer to beneficence as Benny. But what you probably don't know is that 2 weeks ago, Miranda and Coach Capco welcomed their third child. What is he, about 15 days old? And believe it or not, Coach Capco and Miranda named their newborn son Benny. So if that's not an omen, I don't know what one is. And it makes me pretty darn sure that we found our guy. Jeff Mitchell, now to you.
Well, thank you, President Mearns. Good afternoon to our alumni, friends, and fans gathered here in person, watching online, or listening on the radio. It is a great day to be a Cardinal. On occasions such as today's exciting announcement, I must reiterate how grateful I am for the support of our Board of Trustees, the trust that our board has in President Mearns and in me. Throughout this search process and throughout the previous 6 head coach searches that we have completed here, and the exercises of retention for our other head coaches, the alignment of leadership across our campus has been outstanding. And I appreciate also the support we have received from the Office of our General Counsel, the Office of Business Affairs, and the Office of People and Culture. And to our outstanding coaches and assistant coaches that are here today and our staff across the department, thank you very much for your leadership. That support extends also to my executive team, Dr. Lauren Rhodes, who serves as our sport administrator for men's basketball, Dr. Lindsey Blom, Emma Kumar, Ryan Hillenberg, and Matt Brown, who all serve in different yet equally important roles in supporting the work of our athletics department. I also want to thank 4 other members of our staff who contributed in a significant way over the last several days in welcoming Coach Capco: Kevin Messenger, Kirsten Rich, Mick Tidrow, and Josh Brunette. I also express my appreciation to our search partner, Katie Stout, and ZRG Partners, who assisted us in our efforts to facilitate a successful search. Now, to outline the search that has been conducted over the past couple of weeks, I was very pleased that our candidate pool for this position consisted of 45 skilled coaches who were formally vetted. There were more than 45 interested. 45, though, were formally vetted through our process. These candidates ranged from coaches whom I know, coaches who were recommended to me, and coaches who otherwise pursued the opportunity. These candidates including sitting head coaches, associate head coaches, assistant coaches, and individuals with significant basketball backgrounds. More than 1/3 of the candidate pool advanced to postseason play this season. And in addition to our new head coach, 3 other coaches in our pool also became head coaches during this cycle. After some reflection and research and cross-referencing across my network of basketball coaches and administrators across the country, we narrowed that list to what we called our Sweet 16, which was further reduced to 10, and then we engaged in conversations with these exceptional individuals. We then narrowed this list to 3. And finally, I decided to have extended conversations with one candidate, including making a couple of trips to Dayton, Ohio last week as the SMU Mustangs were preparing to play in the first four of the NCAA tournament. Throughout the process, I looked at our candidates through three windows, and I do this with every search. First, I wanted to identify a basketball coach who is extraordinarily competent in every aspect of leading a college basketball program. I wanted to find someone who has enjoyed a breadth of experience and possesses significant basketball knowledge with time coaching at multiple institutions and who has held a variety of jobs within those coaching ranks. Second, I wanted to find a coach who is connected in terms of national and international recruiting and who can connect with today's athlete, someone who can teach and develop talent. Third, I wanted to find a coach who is competitive and who's been a part of creating a winning culture. In tandem with that competitiveness, I sought a coach who wanted to get started immediately, someone who urgently understood the significance of this opportunity at Ball State and who embraced being a Ball State Cardinal. Chris Capco was viewed clearly through these three windows. Called by many as Cap, he repeatedly offered me glimpses of how organized, knowledgeable, connected, energetic, and eager he is. As we have visited more over the past several days, I am confident in his detailed approach to roster construction, staff construction, and his preparation to play an exciting brand of basketball in this new age of intercollegiate athletics and college basketball. Make no mistake, Chris Capco is a winner. In the past 2 years at SMU, Coach Capco helped the Mustangs to a 44-25 record, including a #1 seed in the 2025 NIT, and this year helped guide SMU to its first berth in the NCAA tournament since 2017. Prior to SMU, Coach Capco helped lead USC to a 176-93 overall mark. That included 5 NCAA tournament appearances, including a trip to the Elite Eight in 2021. During a process that has been thoughtful and thorough, I have discovered that we have numerous mutual connections, quite literally from coast to coast. And I've heard from all of them, all with glowing regard for a leader who is known as a great coach, but who is respected for being an even better person. Coach Capco cares deeply about his family, his players, and his staff. He has served in all positions in Division I basketball as a graduate assistant, video coordinator, operations director, assistant coach, and as I've mentioned, for the past several years as an associate head coach at SMU and USC. Experiences that have prepared him to be the right leader for Ball State men's basketball. Perhaps most important, as President Mearns mentioned, is his character and his understanding of our university's enduring values of beneficence, and we just can't get over that the third child has been named Benny. While Benny cannot be here today with us, we are honored to be joined by Chris's wife, Miranda, daughter Zoe, son Asa, mom Karen, and brother Justin. And it is now my honor, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you the 21st head coach of the Ball State men's basketball program, Mr. Chris Capco. You want to take these?
Sorry for the moment of silence right there. Honestly, just standing above you guys and just all the support right here, it's honestly a surreal moment for me. I've been dreaming of this moment for a long, long time. I just saw people out there in the crowd that I hadn't seen before I came in here. So to see people like that in here means a lot. And for you guys to be here and be so supportive means a lot. It's just a surreal moment. What a moment. What a moment to be a member of the Ball State community, and what an amazing, amazing, amazing opportunity to be your 21st head basketball coach. Since the news broke last Thursday that I would be the head coach here, I've had so many friends, family, coaches, ex-players reach out. And on top of that, through social media and just random people getting my phone number, I've had a lot of people in the community, a lot of people at Ball State, a lot of my new colleagues, a lot of the staff, and many people who have reached out to say thank you and share their excitement. I want to let everyone know that I do view this responsibility that comes with being the 21st head coach at Ball State University as an absolute privilege, and I'm so fortunate and excited to be standing here in front of you. Thank you to everybody who's here. As I move forward with this, there are going to be a few words that you will hear me repeat quite a bit. And two of them are the reason that I am here today. The first two are belief and confidence. As a coach and a leader of young men, I am in the business of inspiration. It is my job to instill confidence as well as convey to my student athletes that I believe in them in order to inspire them to the best of my ability. There has never been any individual nor team who has accomplished something special without the requisite amount of confidence or belief. And as I stand before you as an adult, there have been people who have inspired me and given me the confidence and belief to get to where I am today. The one who is with me every day of this journey is my wife, my beautiful wife. I'm trying not to get teary-eyed, but she has been with me through the wins, the losses, the goods, the bad, the investigations, the everything. I say that as a joke, all right? All right? But if you've been through what we've been through in college basketball, I'll get to that. We've been through literally everything that you can go through. To my best friend, Zoe Saint, she was doing chirp chirp on the way here. To Asa James, thank you guys. As anyone knows, as I've been through this, and I hear people talk about this stuff all the time, and I've seen people give their press conferences, and what they do is they thank for sacrifice. And now that I'm here, I could not be here without sacrifice and sacrifice from them. So thank you. The other two that are here are my mom, Karen, and my brother, Justin. My grandma, who's 96, cannot be here. I wish she could. You know, my wife, my kids, they see me on a day-to-day. To you, Mom, to you, Justin, you guys only see me in the context of when we show up for games and I'm just out there screaming and yelling and do whatever I do. But what people know about me, and I believe most people probably conveyed to President Mearns and Athletic Director Mitchell, was my work ethic. And as I grew up, Mom, what you instilled in me was work ethic. So thank you. The next group of people, and for anyone who's ever been a first-time head coach, you understand how tough this is. I've been told I don't have head coaching experience more than I've been told no by my wife, okay? So the confidence and belief that I got from President Mearns and Athletic Director Miller and Deputy AD Lauren Rhodes, I can't thank you enough. You guys giving me the confidence to believe in me to be your next head basketball coach means the world to me. So thank you. And Dr. Rhodes, there you are. I was looking for you. I couldn't find you. But thank you guys so much. It means the world to me, and I can't appreciate you enough. Along this journey, there have been a lot of head coaches who have impacted me along the way. I've spoken to all of them personally. I've called all of them at one point or another to tell them thank you, but I would also feel remiss if I didn't mention them here today. And they all played a different role, but the same role in my trajectory here. The first one I called him the other day was Donnie Jones. Donnie Jones, when I graduated college, I worked at JP Morgan Chase. Some people ask me what got me into coaching. What got me into coaching was working a real job, all right? I worked 3 months at JP Morgan Chase, and I realized, you know what, I want to get into coaching. But as I was sitting there as a performance analyst, DJ, I called him. He offered me a job as a graduate assistant. It was at that point I realized that obtaining a job in college basketball is not that easy and that they're highly competitive. Coach Jones gave me an opportunity to be his GA and gave me freedom and gave me autonomy and gave me the ability to grow. And without that, I would not have gotten my first job at Stetson University. I called Derek Wall the other day and wanted to give him a huge thank you for allowing me to be an assistant coach. He gave me my first assistant coaching position when I had no coaching experience. Similar to Jeff, when he was going through this process, there were a ton of qualified guys who had head coaching experience, similar to that time frame in my life. And Derek Wall took a chance on a young guy with no assistant coaching experience, but gave me a chance. And I can't thank him enough. The next guy was Charlton C.Y. Young. C.Y. was the head coach at Georgia Southern. And I'm looking back here because when he called me to tell me congratulations, he said he might show up and sit in the back of the room with a hat on, but he's not here. And if he was, you guys would know it. So my 2 years at Stetson, we had got let go, and I did not have a job when CY offered me a job. And like all the men who have led me and allowed me to work with them, CY gave me an opportunity when I didn't have one. He gave me freedom, he treated me with respect, and he gave me an example of what it should look like as I move forward through the business. So thank you to CY. The next one, and I'm gonna get to Coach Enfield last, but then my career took me to USC where I was his ops guy. After 2 years there, I knew I needed to get back on the road, and I went back to FIU in my home state, and Anthony Evans was the head coach there. And Coach Evans gave me the opportunity to get back on the road, recruit, be on the floor, mentor young men, and put me in position to get my next job. My next job was with Coach Enfield, the one who has made the biggest impression on me and had the biggest impact on my life. I have been with Coach Enfield for 12 years, and through that, I've sat next to him for 243 wins, 6 NCAA tournaments, and take a lot of pride in what we've done. Through that, Coach has made me his ops guy, his video guy, his assistant coach, his associate head coach, and supported me every step of the way, and I can't thank him enough. He has given me the opportunity to be here like all these other men and has been a full advocate of mine. Coach, thank you. Now, I could go on for another hour about the people who have impacted my life, from former players to assistant coaches to administrators, but I want to make sure that I'm thankful, and I tell everyone who's watching that I'm thankful for everything that everyone who has come across my life has done for me in this business. To the former players, to the Ball State players, I need you guys, okay? I think I see a few of them in this room today. I hope I do, but I need you guys. I need our current and future players to understand what this university means to you, to understand the source of pride that you take in this university, and understand that people are relying on them to hold this place to a certain standard. One of my first points of contact that I told Jeff when we first talked was Theron T. Smith. T was from the same area as me. In 1999, I was a freshman in high school. T was a senior in high school. T ended up signing with Ball State. T went on to be a 2-time All-MAC performer here, scored over 1,500 points and grabbed over 800 rebounds, and was an integral part of the team that went to the NCAA tournament in '99 and 2000. I need guys like T. Smith back in this program to talk to our current and future players, to let them know what it means to them to be a member of this community and be a member of this program. To the current players that I've met, thank you for your support and trust in me and allowing me to coach you. I will be the example every day for who you want to be. I will never ask you to do anything that I won't do, and I will model exactly what I am asking you to do day in and day out. Because I understand the responsibility of the job and I know who I am and what I bring to the table, the standard that I set every day will be the standard that we have to meet every day. And if we meet that standard, special things will happen. In this room, I know there are certain people here that are probably like, he's not from the Midwest. What is he doing here? How's he going to recruit Indiana? And I'm trying to look around to see who says, that was me, that was me. But I guess they're not here. But the same thing was said when I went to USC, when I went to LA, and then we went to Dallas. At USC, 10 years there, 6 McDonald's All-Americans and 11 NBA draft picks later, it worked out pretty well. In Dallas, the 4th-ranked recruiting class, with a whole class made up of kids from Texas, it worked out pretty well. To the people in here, I've heard you. You want us to recruit Indiana, and you want us to recruit the Midwest. That will happen. We will recruit the state of Indiana. We will work tirelessly to make sure that we turn over every rock in this state to recruit the best players that we can and bring them to Ball State and make you guys proud. My staff and I, we will make this area a priority. To the local coaches and fans, I want to make this one of the most accessible programs in the state of Indiana. I told that to President Mearns and to AD Mitchell. I want to be the most accessible program to everybody, to the community, to the state, to the players, to the coaches, to my colleagues, to anyone. If you ever want to come by, you are welcome. You want to come to practice, you want to sit in the huddle, you want to hold the whiteboard, you want to draw up a play, don't take it that far. But close to it. But we need everybody in here to get to where we need to get to, and we need your support. I want everybody in this room to come by. I want to meet you. I want you to meet my staff. I want you to know our players. And I want everyone to be able to identify with our program and feel a part of something special. I am here to serve you. Nothing that I've encountered that has been worth it has been done with just one person. Jeff talked about alignment. I want to be aligned with him. I want to be aligned with President Mearns. I want to be aligned with the rest of the staff. I want to be aligned with the university, and we need you guys to do it. We need you guys to come help us make this arena one of the best arenas that we can. We need you to have the students show up. I need to make sure that I get out on campus to help the students show up, and we need to make this one of the best programs in the MAC. I'll end this by saying in the interview process, Jeff told me he was a relentless optimist. He used that quite a bit. He sees optimism in everything. When we left our first meeting, he had asked me, why not Ball State? As I did my research and I read everything around the program, everything around the players that were here in the past, this year's team, and what could be, and I thought of my conversation with President Mearns, I realized he was right. Why not Ball State? Why not us? Why not now? Why not in the future? We can be what you guys want this program to be, and I need everybody here to do that. Let's do it together. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. Thank you for showing up, and I look forward to meeting everybody. And go Cardinals.
We will take some questions from the media. We'll ask the media, please identify both your name and your affiliation. We have questions in the front and the back. I'll direct those, please. Cade, begin.
Coach, Cade Hampton with the Muncie Star Press here. I mean, you've been here a couple of days now. Just kind of what is your initial first impression of the university, the campus, and the city of Muncie?
The city's awesome. The campus is amazing. You know, like I just said, the amount of support, you know, I hear, I've never spent time in the Midwest. Obviously, I alluded to that. But I had always known that Indiana is a great basketball state and that the people in Indiana care about basketball. Being here, for once accepting the job and just seeing the outpouring of support on social media, but now getting here and just seeing the support here, the people who have stopped us and come up and said hello, just seeing how the community has embraced us, it's been amazing. It's been even more so than I could have imagined. I'm sure through my talk I forgot to mention some people who I've met and who I can thank, but the support has been amazing. It's been even more than we could have thought. I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody and introducing myself and my family along the way.
Coach Dylan Sin from the Journal-Gazette in Fort Wayne. Just can you talk a little bit about your roster building process that you plan to go through over the next couple of weeks here, especially with the transfer portal open in about 2 weeks?
Yep, good question. So he asked about the transfer portal. Today I had the privilege of meeting with 4 of our current players, and I have spoken to everybody on the team already, whether it was through phone, through text, whatever the case may be. Some guys are off campus right now, and I will be back next week to make sure that I meet with them. My first priority is to make sure, I want guys who want to be here. I think there were some pretty talented players on last year's team that can help us this year. And if they want to be here and they're the right person and they have the right character, I want them to be here. and their mind is on the right thing. So the next part of that is just kind of evaluating what I see fit as role, and then in our new landscape, negotiating to make sure that that makes sense for them to stay. But the first thing is to try to retain the guys off this last year's team, if it makes sense and it works. Currently, a few members of our staff, I actually have my director of analytics and game strategy, Ellis Spar, is standing right there. We've been sending names. That's my guy. We've been sending names all day today, so we're starting to ramp up who's going to be in there at which position, determine who on this year's team is going to stay, and then try to fill in the voids around them with their strengths and weaknesses. So that's going to be the first part of it. And obviously, it's going to be a very fluid process as we move forward, but I think it starts with this year's team, seeing who's going to stay and go, and then trying to build around those holes.
Coach, I'm Andrew Mason for WCRD. First of all, just welcome to Ball State. What kind of characteristics are you looking for future players and your assistant coaches as well?
Yeah, I use my 4 core values. I use them a lot. I use them a lot in the interview process, but I do use them a lot in the recruiting process as well, because I think now more than ever, when you are paying your guys, it's more than just can he go or can he not. The 4 values I tend to use, and I do ask every time I am vetting a player in the recruiting process, is 1, self-motivation. Is he self-motivated, or do I have to hold his hand to get in the gym? Hopefully I don't have to hold his hand to get in the gym. 2, is he honest, and can I be honest with him? I don't want kids, student athletes, young men, who their parents are going to cast blame if things don't go how it needs to be. Through the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of a season, you have to have honest conversations with people, and I want, through vetting, I want to know that a kid can handle an honest conversation. The 3rd is toughness. I can tell this is a gritty town, and you don't win if you're not tough. That's physical toughness and that's mental toughness. So a kid who has the tendency to be tough, figure it out through mistakes, and can take honesty and the truth that comes with that, have tough conversations, and be able to handle that. And the last word, I use this the most, is reliability. I want reliable guys. These 2 and the whole administration, they are relying on me to put a winning product on the floor. You guys, everyone in this room, is relying on me and my staff to make sure that we recruit the right young men to come in here and help us win. So they have got to be reliable. And I think when you have self-motivated, honest, tough, reliable kids, that's the best formula to then retain them. And then once you retain them, you develop them, and that's how you build continuity within your program. So those are the 4 characteristics I'm looking for.
Yeah, Coach Kyle Stell, Ball State Daily News. You've talked about building a culture here. Why is it so important, and being a mentor to some of these guys, why is it so important to build those type of relationships with your players?
Well, any program is the product of their culture, right, and the standard that you set every day. So I think that's important. I think when you're around guys and young men in any line of work, the relationships you have with them are extremely important. And to go back to the honesty core value, if I'm just sitting there lying all the time or they're lying to me, then we're not establishing any type of culture or trust, and it's just going to be really hard for us to get the most out of them. There are going to be tough times. I'm going to break a secret to everybody. We're going to lose a game this year. All right? Not a lot of them, but we're going to lose a game. Through that, you kind of get to see who people are in those times. And you have to have really honest conversations with people through that. And I think when you can fall back on a really good relationship with them is when you can be honest with them and you can have those difficult conversations. But all in all, people want to be around people they trust. They want to be around people they feel good about. And on top of the 4 core values I talked about, I want these young men to have fun. They should have fun. This is work. They should enjoy coming into work every day, being with their teammates, being with their coaching staff, and just enjoying what they're doing. Yes, they're getting paid, but this should be enjoyable. I get paid. I should enjoy what I'm doing too. And so our young men should be able to do the same.
Dylan Sim from the Journal-Gazette again. Coach, just you were an assistant for a long time. Just what made you decide that this was the right time for you, that you wanted to be a head coach at this point in your career?
Good question. And it's because of these 2 sitting in front of me, President Mearns and Jeff, AD Jeff Mitchell. I told them, and I reiterated this to Jeff this morning, I've been fortunate enough in my career. I was in a really good spot. I had great stability. My family was happy. I worked for a guy who treated me with respect and allowed me to grow and just gave me a lot of autonomy in our program. And I had opportunity in the past to jump. I was going to come to a point in my career that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with someone who I know is going to do whatever they can to help me. This is a new era of college basketball, just college athletics, and you can't do this if you're fighting with one arm tied behind your back and things aren't in place for you to be successful. So I felt extreme confidence in Jeff and President Mearns that they were going to provide me with the resources possible to be competitive, and that they were going to give me every avenue and every opportunity to do what they could on their end to allow us to be good and allow us to compete. And from my standpoint, that's all I could ask for. Whether I was a first-time head coach or a second or third-time head coach, there has to be real alignment. I felt real alignment with them. I felt great about them, and I felt like they were going to do whatever they could to help us be successful.
Yeah, Kate Hampton with the Star Press again. Coach, I mean, it's no secret that this is a program that has, in recent years, really kind of struggled. Does that give you extra motivation to really get in here and kind of get this thing turned around?
I don't want to say it gives me added motivation. Kay just asked about the recent struggles. I don't want to talk about really anything in the past. I'm motivated by myself. I'm motivated by them relying on me, President Mearns and Jeff. They, again, I talked about it in the press conference or earlier. These guys have confidence in me to come in here and lead their program. That's enough motivation that I need. I know the last time they've been to the NCAA tournament is the 99-2000 season. All the years in between, I don't know what happened, and honestly, at this point, it doesn't even really matter. What matters is they've given me the confidence to be their head coach, figuring out what the challenges are today, and working on improving those as we move forward, and working tirelessly and effortlessly to make sure that we find the right guys to come in our program, develop them, play an exciting brand for you guys, and put a winning product on the floor.
We don't have any final questions from media. I'm going to ask photographers if you'd like to fill the center aisle, and I know that Jeff Mitchell would like to make a presentation.
Can I say one more thing also? I did say it once, but honestly, from the bottom of my heart, just looking at this room as I keep looking over here, just all you guys being here, thank you so much to you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. I know I said it 4 times right there, but this has been, it's blown me away by how many people are here right now and how you guys have been so supportive and the outreaching and all that stuff. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We'll welcome media up here to the front row, and Coach will do a couple of one-on-one interviews. Thank you, everybody.